Hey, Crosswatchers for Sagittarius. Welcome to your July cross-watching video. This is for anybody that's got a Sagittarius in their life that they're curious about. These are general readings, guys, so a lot of it may resonate, some of it may resonate, none of it may resonate. But I promise you that if Spirit has brought you to this video, there's at least one message in here for you somewhere, okay? If you are a Sagittarius that's watching because you want to see if I got it right, if I hit the nail on the head, a couple of things you need to keep in mind. These are general readings. Just like your weekly general reading, it's a general reading. Sometimes it's going to resonate more than others. Also, your person may not be cross-watching on my channel, or they might not watch tarot readings in general. So sometimes that's a factor as well. But we're going to see what's happening, my darlings, for Crosswatcher and Sagittarius in the month of July. This is not about spying. This is not about spilling tea. This is about getting information that's going to be in the best and highest good for everybody involved, to bring about healing, if necessary, closure, to bring about constructive, positive change. That is my intention here with this reading. All right, I'm not trying to clown on anybody, not trying to, dig up anybody's dirty laundry. This is about healing and progress and growth and positive change. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, my dears, okay. So, those of you watching for Sagittarius, foundation of the month here is going to be 10 of Earth. Okay, and this is going to apply in different ways for different ones of you. 10 of Earth is what we know of in, traditional tarot as 10 of Pentacles. So it's a money card. It's a success card. It's things going well financially, being able to lay down a foundation, being able to collect the rewards for your hard work. So your Sagittarius may be making some progress here where they're ready to either play, like they might be wanting to plan some kind of a vacation or treat themselves to something with this positive financial flow that's coming in, and or they might be wanting to talk more about future plans, making things more solid, making things more stable, especially those of you who've been dealing with a Sagittarius for a long time, that you've been in a relationship for a while, or you all have been dating for a while. It could be like, hey, things are starting to become more stable for me. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about that white picket fence. Let's talk about the future plans. So some of you are going to be able to have those kinds of conversations in July with your Sagittarius. Those of you who've been working on a Sagittarius, or waiting for a Sagittarius, or wanting to hear back from a Sagittarius, 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Earth can sometimes also be a card letting us know that something is manifesting, something is coming into fruition, like it's coming from the dream realm, from the realm of the wishes, to actually occurring in physical life. It's taking physical shape or physical form. Some of you have been involved with a Sagittarius where you guys have been friends for a very long time, and it hasn't been clear to you which way things were going to go, or if this was going to become more than friendship. So 10 of Pentacles would say there's like being this crossing over from this friendship to more than friends, being that there's going to be some kind of a physical connection. Something physical is manifesting between the two of you. Some of you have been in a long distance relationship with a Sagittarius, and it's coming into the physical. It's coming into the face-to-face, connection and time spent together, where you're going to be able to see each other in person. Because I keep hearing the word consummate. So some of you have been in a situation with a Sagittarius. Maybe distance has been an issue, or timing has been an issue, or getting to know each other, but something is crossing over into the physical, like the physical intimacy for a lot of you with your Sagittarius. Next we have here the Hermit. Okay, so this is a major arcana card, and the major arcana cards have to do with a very strong connection for me. in in my love readings, or when I'm doing a love reading, or it's coming up in a reading that I'm doing between two people, like an interaction with another person, if I have major arcana cards come up, that tells me that you all have a soul contract with one another. You all agreed to meet in this lifetime for a very specific reason. And if I look at the major arcana card, it gives me an idea of what your contract is. Okay? So you, Crosswatcher, were kind of destined to meet the Sagittarius, to have this connection with the Sagittarius. Like, you may have, from the very beginning, the first time you had set eyes on them, you might have even felt like, I know this person. Like, even though you know you've never met them before, even though you may know that this is your first time coming across them, there was just something about you where you're like, I completely and totally know who this person is, inside and out. Or it felt like an automatic immediate connection, or like a magnetism. It's because of a very strong past life connection, and because you all had this agreement to meet in this lifetime. The Hermit card tells us the reason for the agreement, or the reason of the contract, is that you guys are going to be spiritual teachers for one another. You guys are going to be helping one another ascend into a higher vibration, into a higher energy. For some of you, this Sagittarius is like the beginning of your soul family coming in. Now, I really love the imagery on this card. Those keys are really jumping out at me. So there's something about your connection with the Sagittarius that is unlocking something that is inside you. Something very similar came up for Aries Crosswatchers. So maybe you're an Aries and you're watching for a Sagittarius, or not necessarily, but that came up. That came up where something about this connection is unlocking your own spirituality, your own inner wisdom, your own inner knowing. There's a very strong spiritual connection here. There's a very strong reason for you all meeting, because it's helping you all to evolve and grow spiritually, with your own intuition, with your own healing gifts, with your own abilities. Next, we have King of Fire. And this is fire energy. This is Sagittarius right here. Don't let Grandpa fool you. He's got a lot of passion. He's got a lot of fire. He's got a lot of sexy energy there. So this is a very, very confident card. It's always a good sign. Like, when you're doing, as a reader, if you're doing a reading for a person and you have cards coming up for that person's zodiac sign, that's a good thing, because it's telling us that this person is stepping into their confidence, they're stepping into their identity, they're stepping into their independence. So if you were also dealing with a Sagittarius that maybe in the past you felt a little bit frustrated because you felt like they were easily influenced by other people, or they were making decisions because they wanted the approval of other people, King of Fire says your Sagittarius is breaking out of that. Your Sagittarius isn't going to be looking for that validation or that approval. Sagittarius is coming to the energy where they're going to make their own decisions. They're going to be their own man, their own woman. They're going to do what they need to do. They're going to be able to step up and do what's best for them. King of Fire is a very, very beautiful card, because King of Fire is someone that has not had things handed to him. He has had to work very hard for everything he has in his life. And he was not born into royalty. What happened was, he was suffering. He saw around him other people were suffering. He got tired of it. He got up and he began to create opportunities, because there weren't any. He began to create his own opportunities. He began to bring into existence changes, much needed changes. And so as a result, he came out of poverty. He came out of struggling. He came into abundance. He came into growth. He came into success. He was able to fight off any bullies, anything like that. And then he was able to show other people how to do it as well. And so the people were like, wow, you know, you're amazing, be our king, we want you to be the king. So he was made king, he was a chosen king, he was appointed by the people, he was chosen by the people, he was not born into royalty. So your Sagittarius is coming up in a really big way. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius where you have concerns for them because you feel like, you know, they've had not the best examples in their life growing up, or their family is toxic or negative, this is a pretty good indication that they're going to be able to come out of it. Also, it's coming over into their career. You know, a lot of you are dealing with a Sagittarius where they're gonna make some really big advancement in their career. Some of them, you know, King of Fire for me sometimes is a very creative card and has to do with entrepreneurship for me in my readings. So your Sagittarius may be very ambitious here, and they might even be starting a business that's gonna end up being very successful, and you know, something that's gonna be a blessing long term. Moving forward, next we have yet another major arcana card. So this is telling us July is going to be a big month for Sagittarius, and big moments of change. And again, really kind of confirming here that you have a very strong connection, a very strong soulmate connection with the Sagittarius. The Sun card is actually about true love, freedom. It could even be travel, right? So again, that's confirming for those of you who've had some distance or time apart from a Sagittarius. There could be travel where you're going to be able to spend time together. And the Sun card here is, you know, Sun card in general is about happiness, true love, playfulness, inner child. It could even be children. There could be talk of children, the promise of children. For some of you, there may be pregnancies. So if that's something you don't want to happen right now, be careful and be cautious and take the appropriate steps so that that doesn't happen if that's something that you're not ready for right now. But you know, the Sun card is very just swept away, positive, you know, vibrant, happy, free energy. Okay, so if you are taking a trip, if you are traveling to see someone, or somebody's traveling to see you, you know, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to have a good time together. And if you don't want to have little babies as a result of that, you're going to have to take some steps, or be cautious about it. Those of you who are of childbearing age. Overall, this is a very strong soul connection, an energy where you can just kind of be yourself. You're free to be yourself. They're free to be themselves. There's no judgment here. There's just bliss, playfulness, joy, you know, fun in the sun kind of energy. Next we have here, and this is very interesting, we have the Hierophant. Okay, this is a beautiful card. I love the imagery on this card. It's like she took the Hierophant and the High Priestess and mixed them together in the design of this deck. I really love this card. Beautiful card. But the Hierophant is a card about traditions, ethics, orders, commitment even. Okay, so those of you who've been waiting for something like an official label or a status on a relationship, or you've been waiting to, you know, put a ring on it, there's a very good chance that this is happening in July. If not happening in July, you're talking about when it's going to happen. You're setting a time frame. You're setting plans for the future. Hierophant is commitment, it's order, it's ethics. There could even be, I feel some of you, because the Sun card came up, and the Sun card can sometimes also have to do with children. Those of you who are, like I said, of childbearing age, or, you know, where you're considering having a family, there could be some talk or conversation in regard to how these children are going to be raised. There could be some talk about religious beliefs, ethics, priorities, principles, things of that nature. For those of you who are already married, or you already have, you know, a very strong relationship with a Sagittarius, they might be wanting to get more involved with you in some kind of belief system, right? So some of you are going to have a Sagittarius that might be trying to take you back to like their childhood religion or their childhood church, or they might be looking for a new belief, or they're wanting you guys to kind of experience or come together and figure out what your beliefs are as a couple, or just instilling more of like the old school values or the old school principles. Even if it's not about religion, it could just be about morals, values, ethics. They're wanting to bring more of that into the relationship and more of that into the life. I feel for some of you, you're dealing with a Sagittarius. Those of you who are either already in the relationship with this person or living together or married to this person, they're wanting to have a conversation regarding like gender roles, right? And some people aren't into that. Some people don't like it. Some people are like, no, like, the women shouldn't have to be the ones, cooking and cleaning and doing laundry and, doing these things. The guy should do it too, or the guy should help too, or something like that. And I think that for some of you, you're dealing with a Sagittarius who's hungry for tradition, who's hungry for like a little bit of the old school. And that doesn't mean that if you're a guy, you can never cook. You have to like be out there working in the fields, or working for a paycheck all day. You can't cook. You can't um do things like domestic, or you can't, I don't know, wear pink, or I don't know. I'm just giving like examples. Or if you're a woman, it doesn't mean that you can't go out there and have a job outside of like the relationship or outside of the home life. They're balanced. You're not dealing with like a cave person here. But they just might also want a little bit of that old school, just a little bit of a touch of the old school, right? So, like, if you are male, they might just be wanting to see more of like the masculine qualities in you. If you are female, they might be wanting to see more of the feminine qualities in you. That's not typically something that I get from the Hierophant, but for some reason I felt it very strongly in this reading and in this card. But overall, I just feel like in July, you and your Sagittarius are going to be having a lot of conversations about the future and about how you all want things to be. Like a lot of plans, a lot of planning. Like things are becoming concrete. It's no more planning in the way of, oh, one day, wouldn't it be nice if one day we did this and one day we'll do that? No, like you guys are actually talking about what it's going to take to make it happen, and making a plan to make it happen, and having a time frame. Like things are finally beginning to take shape, to progress on to the next level, whatever that might be for you all. So I really encourage you to watch your love reading for the month of July. That should be up within 48 hours of this video posting. So check out your own personal love reading for July, or the general love readings anyway for July. You might need a private reading. I'm more than happy to do that. If you check out the description of this video, you'll see a link to the Calendly page, and you can go on there and you can schedule a reading with me. And guys, I know love is important. Everyone wants to know about love. I get it. I know it. I understand it. It's a part of being human. It's an important part of human life. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we get so caught up in like the cross-watching videos and the love videos and the relationship stuff that we forget about ourselves. And that's why every single week I do a weekly forecast for each one of the 12 zodiac signs. And it's about focusing on you, your energy, your journey, nobody else but you. So I hope that you will check those out too, those of you who aren't familiar with my channel. And I hope that you will get in the habit of watching the weekly videos for yourself, for you, outside of the relationship stuff. I'll still do the crosswatcher videos. I'll still do the love videos. I'll still do private love readings. It's a part of being human. But please, guys, I just really encourage you also to take advantage of the readings that are just more about you and your personal energy, separate from everybody else. So again, thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for following along on social media for the card of the day and the daily pick a card game that we play over there. And I'm wishing you a fabulous July.